I'm really happy to announce our guest tonight, guys. He's from Coos Bay, Oregon. We play the Son of Snake on the show quite a few times, actually. And I'm happy that Chris helps us promote the show a lot. So tonight, our guest is Chris Strong from Son of Snake. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thanks so much for having me, too. It's an honor and a privilege.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I love it that you send me your physical CDs, because these days a lot of folks do digital media, but it's cool that you're keeping the tradition of the physical CD going,
Yeah, it makes it easier to send them out to everybody for me. And, I have it all online, too, but I don't know. There's something nostalgic about having hard copies of things.
Sure is, yeah.
If I could afford it, I'd probably do vinyl, too, but maybe someday.
Yeah, those vinyl prices these days are insane, bro.
It's nuts. I've looked into it, and it's like, especially this being a solo project, it's kind of hard to come up with it all myself.
Yeah, for sure. I love the fact that you come out. You're so prolific. You're always coming out with so much music. About how often are you working on music? It must be quite a regular thing for you.
It is. It's usually, I do it direct because I have neighbors that share the walls. So I'm one of those night owls, I'll do it all through the night. And I just kind of get inspired by whatever I'm thinking of or whatever I see. And, I've been doing this solo project for about 2 years, maybe a tiny bit more. And I think I have it tallied at right around 300 songs recorded and written.
Wow.
And yeah, nine albums of Son of Snake. And then plus I have, the Slug Feeder project with my friend from the record label I'm on, Anonymous Collective, and that's called Slug Feeder, and that's sort of more, electro punk stuff. Then I've got this, power violence sort of anarcho core thing with a singer from San Diego that I'm also doing. It's called Post Traumatic Oppression. So I keep busy even though it's all remotely right now.
Well, you do a good job of it, man. I'm always shocked because I'll get something from you, and then, not too long after, you're like, I've got a new album coming out. I'm like, man, I wish I could be. I'm like, this dude never quits. I love it. He's like the Energizer Bunny of punk rock.
Well, it just being me, it's a little easier to trying to teach all the bandmates like I used to do, and I'm pretty sure I drove all my bandmates nuts over the years.
He doesn't know anything about that.
Do you when's the last time you did a live performance? Just curious.
Oh man, it's probably been about 10 years.
Yeah.
I got my wife started having health problems, and I kind of took a step back. That was a band called Flesh Gordo from Santa Rosa, California. And we toured up and down the West Coast and whatnot. And before that was for about a decade, I was in a band called Snag from Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And and we played with all the kind of bands I listened to growing up. Opened up for Poison Idea and Fang and MDC and Angry Samoans, and played a bunch of really good shows. And, but like I said, she started having health problems right around 10 years ago or so. And then in 2020, we moved up here from the Bay Area. And I just didn't know anybody up here. And I've met some people, but they don't actually play any instruments.
Okay.
So I just decided, hey, if I don't want to travel 2 or 4 hours to Portland to try to jam with people, I might as well just start doing it here. And I kind of just learned as I went,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. With today's technology, you can actually do that, so that's wonderful.
Yep.
Also, I do. Exactly. My heart does go out to your wife too. I don't know what kind of health issues, but I know you're a good person and you're there for her, and that's cool. I have some sympathy going out to your wife.
Well, thank you. She'll really appreciate that, and I do too, man. Thank you.
Dude, of course, bro. Do you miss playing out live?
I do. I had something lined up with a drummer here in town. But it kind of just fell through, because I actually do want to play shows. I think before my hip is so bad I can't walk at all anymore.
Amen, bro. Amen.
Yeah, because I used to, like, at Flesh Gordo, I was pretty active with the audience. We'll put it that way.
A physical performer.
Yes, definitely. So,
Nice.
I'd like to be a front man again, but I play all the instruments too. And like in Snag, I played bass, and, but I could do bass or guitar, but I'd like to be a front man again. Just write everything and teach everybody, and then just, be the crazy old fat guy in front.
You know what? I love that photo you provided me with. Well, you provided me with a few, to be fair, and you said use whatever you said use what you want, and I went with the cousin it look photo.
Yeah, that was actually taken last Halloween. We were out of town for something, and I was like, I don't have a costume, so here you go. I'm cousin it.
That's so great, and it's funny. From West Beach, from the Plasmatics, made a comment saying he liked the look, and you put a laughing emoji. But I think he was dead serious.
Well, you never know. If I start gigging out again, maybe that'll be my deal. So.
Well, but because the Plasmatics used to have very trippy looks themselves, so I was like, this is funny. I think Wes he goes under the name Mick Porter on Facebook as his little undercover. Yep. Oops, I just blew that. But anyway, but he said, good.
I grew up loving them. As a matter of fact, I have a funny story. My stepdad, when I was a kid, actually really loved them. But I think he had a thing for Wendy. So
yeah, Wendy was so awesome in every way, man. Such a great singer.
Yeah, amazing. She's one of my my spirit animal.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one thing we do have in common, my friend, for sure. So you're always working on music, and I got to ask, even though you just sent me a package with, some new stuff, are you working on new stuff now again?
Yeah, I'm actually working on 2 albums. Slug Feeder is coming out with a new one, like I said, with the drummer in Colorado. And then I'm also doing that sort of power violence project with my friend who does all my artwork. He's the guy that does all the artwork.
By the way, your artwork is very cool and unique. I love that, your art.
Yeah, Filthy is down in San Diego, and he's an old school New Jersey guy, old punker dude that's into the kind of same stuff that I'm into, and so he's doing the vocals on this new project. I'm doing all the music.
Sweet.
So that should be coming out, I'd say within the next 6 months or so. Both of them probably.
Shout out to Filthy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
What's tell the folks that are listening that might not know, what's your very latest album titled?
The latest one is The Ever Unimportance of Supremacy.
Nice.
On Anonymous Collective out of Colorado Springs.
Now, that's the one you sent me that's got some color on the cover, right?
Yeah. I took the centerpiece is what Filthy drew, and then I kind of just did the piecework around it,
Very cool stuff, dude.
Collage style.
Yeah,
man. It's I try to make usually 15 to 18 songs, but I had that one that was I think 30. So
yeah, I also want to take a second to thank you for always, not always, but a lot of times promoting the Church of Rock for us online. I appreciate you doing that.
Of course, man. Always. It's important that we all do this,
Yeah, no, I really do appreciate it, dude. It is a matter of helping each other out, and I've been meaning to ask you to be on the show for a while, so I'm glad you're here.
Well, thanks again for having me. Like I said, I'm stoked.
Heck yeah, dude. What else was I going to ask? Oh, yeah, tonight we're going to do a song which kind of, Sister Tracy's kind of disturbed by the title. we were all talking about off air, you guys, me and Chris and Tracy, and the song we're going to play by Son of Snake is called Hair Tongue. And I want Chris, if you would, to explain it to the folks that have no idea what that's about.
Yeah, it's not dirty. It's not a dirty meaning, although I could see why you'd think it would be.
I didn't think that at all.
Up and even into just a couple years ago, I've had this reoccurring sort of dream / nightmare where I'm literally pulling tons of hair out of my throat and out of my tongue. And like you could hear it popping and everything. So, and it's
That's so.
It's a disturbing dream.
It's like a horror movie, dude. That is so like horror movie-esque.
It's pretty bad. But it's really more annoying than anything. So, but I looked it up. Like I think within the last 5 years of what it means, and apparently it's a sort of a metaphor of feeling like you're not being heard or listened to closely enough.
Cool. Very interesting.
So yeah, it's a terrible dream, but I thought it made for a pretty quirky, weird song, so I went for it.
Well, if anyone is interested in getting in touch with Son of Snake to acquire physical CDs or reach out to you for any reason, what is the best way for them to do so, bro?
Probably on Facebook, either on my Chris Strong site or Instagram on my Son of Snake site.
So Son of Snake on Instagram and Chris Strong on Facebook.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's it. That'd probably be best. But I also have that YouTube channel. YouTube, I think it's Son_Snake. And most of my songs always make it up there. So you could also listen there for free.
Very cool, bro. Anything you want to touch on before I let you go and play your music?
Well, just thanks again for having me, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm always tuning in. It's a great show. Both of you two do excellent work over there. And thanks again.
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Chris, big time, dude. And I'm always looking out for your new music. Always happy to play your stuff, so never take me off your list.
I won't. You're always going to be on my mailing list.
Kick ass. And you tell your folks over in Coos Bay cheers and give your our love to your better half. And we're going to go ahead and roll into the song by Son of Snake. It's called Hair Tongue. Chris Strong, a pleasure to have you, brother.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, Chris. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Peace, you too.
Later on, brother. Okay, let's do this, man. Turn it up a little louder. It's Chris Strong, Son of Snake, tune called Hair Tongue, right here at the Almighty Church of Rock.
And KSKQ.
I keep on having dreams where I'm